The 10th speaker is Mr. Jiwon Park, representing Dosia University. The title of his speech is, Let's Change Your Boring Self-Introduction. Let's change your boring self-introduction. Would you now welcome Mr. Park?
Thank you so much, Mr. Person, and distinguished judges, and the questioners, and timekeepers, and other people. Just kidding. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, honorable people gathered here. How are you doing, sir? All right, I'm fine, I'm great. This is so inappropriate. I'm sorry. Be serious. All right. Maybe you and I, we explained it just now, so I would like to introduce myself. My name is Jiwon Park. I'm Korean. So usually negative things to mention about Korean. For example, the relationship between families, some racist saying something like that. But I think this works to my benefit because I can say to girls, hey, I'm Korean. I'm exactly the same as K-pop star. Many girls like K-pop star, right? But maybe they say, all right, so what? It doesn't work. Next, it's important things. I'm 19 years old, not 40. Sometimes people make a mistake, my age is so older. I made a mistake again. It's not sometimes, it's always. So, about my looks, I'm not handsome. Dumb handsome. Just kidding, you wasn't home. But until I was 13 years old, I thought I'm handsome. Because in my home, I think everyone do that. When I was a baby, my family always said to me, you're handsome, you're cute, and you're like an angel. So I just believed it. So I had too much confidence. But through the years, I looked in the mirror, I realized, oh my God, that's a compliment. I'm not a handsome, even I'm not an angel. So since then, I felt so much complexes. No, I need you. Well, I might have introduced too much. I know what you're thinking. What the hell is doing just talking, blah, blah, blah. So I know it. Why am I talking, just talking, why? Actually, this is self-disclosure, which is showing positive personal information. Basically, in self-introduction, we always talking about only positive stuff. On the other hand, self-disclosure, we also talking about negative stuff. Your complex. So this is the difference between self-introduction and self-disclosure. Through this speech, what I want to say is quite simple. Talking about yourself, even your complexes. Today, I will tell you the knack to build a good relationship by using self-disclosure. So, please remember your self-introduction. Maybe you mentioned about where are you from or what is your hobby, something like that. So, in most cases, your self-introduction is typical and boring. But I want to say such self-introduction is bad. It's okay. This kind of information is important. But what I want to say is that you can improve your self-introduction much better than now. Self-introduction. In my speech, this word doesn't mean just what you do when you meet someone for the first time. Introducing yourself, talking about yourself, disclosing yourself, and express yourself in any situation. All these things are self-introduction. So this is an important issue in our life. For example, if you crush on someone, like a beautiful woman or a handsome guy, so what would you do? Maybe, whatever you do, no matter what people say, you will want to be seen a good person. At least, absolutely I do. Anyway, in order to that, you have to express yourself unlikely. In this way, you have to express yourself so many situations in your life. Do you want to improve your self-introduction much better than now? As I did it as a beginning, I mentioned disclosing the complex as a key point to improve your self-introduction. However, you may think that, oh man, what the hell are you talking about? Disclosing my complex? I couldn't do that. Alright, I can understand your feelings. I thought that was a really stupid thing until several years ago. Now, please raise your hand if you can disclose your complexes here. Jeez, nobody can say. Self-disclosure is so difficult. Maybe most people hide the complex, of course, you may feel ashamed and think that if I talk about such a conference, people won't accept me. So did I. I was hiding and ashamed my conference because I was afraid of being bullied by my identity or looks. So I played more perfect one as possible. But one day, I realized that this is pathetic and miserable. At the same time, I thought if I can talk about it on my own, people wouldn't bother criticize that. So I talked. Then suddenly my friend said to me, "Oh, you're a funny person. I was wondering whether I can mention it or not, but thanks to your self-introduction, I felt closeness to you." The complex can be the tool that builds good relationship. In fact, people have the psychological law that calls reciprocation. If you disclose yourself to somebody, they will disclose themselves as much as you did, even the complex. So furthermore, it is also said that humans have a sense of closeness to people who disclose a lot. So that is a psychology proving. When disclosing yourself, people accept you. So, I will introduce to you a way of self-disclosure effectively and easy. It's 2 steps. The first, subject. Of course, if you talk about the complex suddenly, people will be surprised. So, at first, you should talk about the subject. You can talk easy. So take it easy. You don't have to talk about the complex for the first time. The important thing is to get used to it little by little. The second, a way of talking. Please remember my self-disclosure. I talked about quite dark side of me. But maybe you shouldn't have felt so dark. Perhaps you should have a little sense of closeness to me, even there were people laughing. I hope so. So, anyway, if I talk about that story darkly, I'm just a negative person. Yes, the important thing is when you talk about the negative topic such as complex, you should talk about it correctly. So talking correctly, so that's it. So please just try it. All you have to do is just talking. By the way, thinking about the people perfect all the time, I thought that it's definitely weird. Because it's weird, handsome, cute, rich, and smart, like an angel. So I can trust this guy. Maybe this might be a jealous a little bit. Anyway, but everybody has a complex. Eventually, I think sometimes we need a complex. We need a break. A weak, poor, coward, and idiot. Such an imperfect guy like me. Maybe I should do self-closing on my mouth. Thank you.
Question and answer period. Mr. Tanaka, please.
Thank you, Jibon-san,
Thank
for
you.
your speech. Are you really 19 years old?
Yes, I'm 19 years old.
Oh dear.
I swear.
Okay. Question. Do you think there's any difference between self-introduction and self-disclosure?
The difference, technically, there is no definition of self-disclosure, but some psychologists saying self-disclosure is mentioned about. But I think the many psychologists are reading. So I think that the self-disclosure is mentioned about negative stuff. The self-introduction, we already talk about the positive stuff. So self-disclosure is a kind of self-introduction. So right, it is something.
Well, in my view, the self-introduction is something you do in front of the public to introduce yourself. But on the other hand, the self-disclosure is something that we do personally, face-to-face, in a private situation. So in which case, first of all, what do you think of my view?
It is mentioned about public.
Yeah, I said the self-introduction should be is something could be done in public.
Yeah, public is speaking is difficult things. I think that all people can do that. So not good at the speaking, so everybody think that. But I think this okay. The kind of the face-to-face and two relationship is okay. That disclosing the conflicts. This is also self-disclosure. So I think that. So but public is everyone can't.
Okay, so what do you think of the people who might think that who will get upset when the EU suddenly disclose yourself in the public space? What do you think there is such kind of people?
But such kind of people, they think that should think the little by little, together, little by little. So talking about the subject, so very easy stuff. So what do you feel now? Do you nervous? I feel nervous. This is a kind of communication stuff that self-disclosure. So I think that.
So you're saying that such kind of people should not be afraid of being
Yeah. Don't be afraid. Little by little. Yeah.
So is your suggestion effective also to people who are introvert or reserved? Introvert.
Introvert people.
Is your suggestion effective to people who are not willing to speak in public?
Introvert people can speak that where are you from? Where are you from? And my hobby is that. So this is a self-introduction. So please more high level. It is the same things, but I think that it's really important. For example, do you feel general worries? Do you have money? So do you have money? So So this kind of general worries that ask they say.
Okay, this is time's up. Thank you very much.
Yeah.